Hello class, my name is Karina Chavez and today I'll be discussing the Marbury versus Madison case. So prior to this case, the government ran on the 1789 Judiciary Act, which was established by Congress. It was a law that they passed which created all the different court systems, and it also gave the president the power to appoint all the different judges as long as they were approved by the Senate. The significance of this case was that William Marbury had been appointed as the Justice of the Peace in the District of Columbia by Adams prior to the taking of office by Thomas Jefferson during their election. And Adams had passed, along with Congress, the Judiciary Act of 1801, which created the new courts and new judges, and that's how Marbury had gotten appointed. And so when he went to get his commission on being appointed, it was not delivered because Madison did not want to comply. And so although the court found that Madison's refusal was indeed illegal, they also found that they could not hand over a writ of mandamus for Marbury's commission because the court felt that the Judiciary Act of 1789 was actually unconstitutional itself because it extended the court's original jurisdiction beyond what was established in the Constitution. And so instead of them providing a writ of mandamus, they concluded that they were actually going to null and void the Judiciary Act of 1789, and instead they were going to set up judicial review, which gave the Supreme Court the power to decide whether laws or processes, or laws, clauses, different legislature was constitutional or not. So this gave the federal court the ability to decide if a new law or legislature was actually constitutional and in line with the rights of the people. And so this has changed and impacted our lives in many different ways. There have been lots of cases that have been tried through the federal court and have found to be unconstitutional and have actually provided rights to the people, such as when we had segregated schools. They felt it was unconstitutional that whites were going to different schools as black. Interracial marriages were considered unconstitutional, and therefore they were allowed. The ban of not allowing homeowners to have guns in their homes, that was also considered unconstitutional through a judicial review, and therefore now the Second Amendment right was upheld. And also same-sex marriages have now been considered a right, and so people in all 50 states are now able to have equal rights and get married and have all the same benefits that married spouses would have had. And so in conclusion, judicial review has made a huge difference in our lives. It has created more justice and freedom and equal rights. There have been some cases as well that were a little controversial because it treated certain people as property, but those have now been overturned, and citizens have been given their rights. But overall, I think judicial review has been a very positive impact, and it has provided many people with constitutional rights that were always there for them to have. Thank you all for listening. Bye-bye.